All right, as we always do around this time, we are going to invite our senior journalists and editors in the specialist desks at the SABC to come through and open up their diaries for you for the coming day to give you, a sense of the week ahead. Starting that exactly is Samkele Maseko. Samkele, good afternoon.
A very good afternoon to you, Tulas, and to the viewers.
Sorry, I was on the go. Man.
You're on the go. You're on the go.
I was not about to.
You are happy about yesterday's outcome.
I know. They call it the Gloma response.
The Gloma
I
response.
can neither confirm nor deny that I'm happy.
No, it was a gentleman's agreement.
Let's leave it there. Let's talk about this now, Samkele. History was made last week. Johannesburg, for the first time in its history, has a deputy mayor. I imagine that you're not going to leave that story there. That's not the full stop, but rather that's the comma of why and what does it mean for the city going forward.
We're definitely not going to leave the story, particularly noting where the ANC is at when it comes to its electoral fortunes. Its own internal research and polling is putting them at about just below 30%, closer to about 22, 23% in the city of Johannesburg, in particular in the whole of Gauteng. They're not doing particularly well when it comes to polling due to the myriad of issues facing people on a service delivery perspective: potholes, lack of water provision within the municipality, lack of collection of refuse collection within the various suburbs or areas where South Africans live. We go to the deplorable conditions and the filth that is there within the townships. But on the political machinations aspect, you look at the tensions that had been built up within Dada Murero's faction and Loyiso Masugu's faction, and how Loyiso Masugu effectively being sworn in as the first woman deputy executive mayor of the city of Johannesburg. So she's effectively the deputy of Dada Murero, who's the mayor, but also the boss of Dada Murero on the form that she's the ANC regional chairman. That will basically mean that the powers of Dada Murero will effectively be usurped. You will find a lot of officials within the municipality and within the ExCo and within the executive of the city who will lean more towards Loyiso Masugu and regard and make Dada Murero redundant. It's more like that position in KwaZulu-Natal that was created for Sihle Zikalala as the leader of government business and had Senzo Mkhunu as the premier of the province, where ultimately Zikalala was the premier of the province. So Dada Murero will effectively not be running the city. Loyiso will.
Hang on there, Samkele. But the ANC assures us, Sasabona Manganyi, assures us and others that this is not about managing internal dynamics of the ANC. It's about service delivery and strengthening and ensuring that the deputy mayor supports the mayor and they work to... What are you saying to us? That
political talk is...
Look beyond the rhetoric.
Look beyond the rhetoric.
Yeah.
Look beyond the rhetoric. Effectively, you've had tensions between the executive mayor, Dada Murero, and the city manager. But you've got the now deputy mayor, Loyiso Masugu, who enjoys a very fruitful and honest and frank relationship with the city manager, Floyd Brink, and they've got a better and cordial working relationship than that of the executive mayor and the city manager at this point in time. So it is effectively going to make Dada Murero redundant at some point in time. He will effectively be the face of the municipality to a relative extent, but when it comes to issues of service delivery, particularly the frontline services, those will be at the ambit of the deputy mayor, Loyiso Masugu.
Not seeking to dwell on this story longer than we need to, though, Samkele. Is it a case of perhaps the newly elected Regional Executive Committee of the ANC maybe desired a reshuffle and they were told by the national leadership something different? I don't know. I'm just curious to know that if that is the case, everything you are describing, why not just go all the way and say, actually, we'd like the new regional chairperson to become the mayor?
With the tensions that are there between the ANC and the economic freedom fighters, the ANC would have lost that mayorship chain.
Yeah.
They would have lost the mayoral chain. With the tensions that are there with the economic freedom fighters, you've got about 4 municipalities that have not been able to pass their adjustment budgets in the province of Gauteng. Only one has passed, that is Tshwane. All other municipalities have not either tabled them or have simply went and cancelled them on the eve of tabling those particular adjustment budgets. Look at Mogale City as a case and example. They were not able to table their adjustment budget. It was postponed literally when they were at council. So it tells you the tensions between the ANC and the EFF is effectively affecting the running of this particular government. In Ekurhuleni, Dr. Xhakaza is executive with Nkosindipile Xhakaza, with Jongzizwe, Dlabat, having now resigned as the MMC of Finance. He's yet to table an adjustment budget. There's no speaker in that municipality. Johannesburg is also facing the same crisis. So there is a myriad of issues that the ANC regionally has had to deal with, on top of a perceived support that Dada Murero may have from some ANC's top brass officials, just like Loyiso Masuku may also be linked to some top 6 officials within the ANC. So it's a factional fight that extends to the grass. So when the elephants fight, the grass suffer.
Speaking of political machinations, then let's talk Democratic Alliance. Also, that's building up and heating up quite nicely. The nominations are open, and it didn't take long after the opening of nominations for at least 2 names to be thrown into the ring.
It's going to be a rather interesting, boring election campaign internally of the Democratic Alliance. I say it's going to be boring because you can actually see that the writing is on the wall. Gordon Hill Lewis is going to be the leader of the Democratic Alliance. Yeah? The writing is on the wall. If you look at the individuals that were there, the contestation is not like the African National Congress.
Yes.
Even if you look at the race going towards John Steenhuisen being elected, Mbali Ntuli was trying all her level best, but John Steenhuisen ultimately had the branches and the numbers. The Western Cape sends the biggest delegation to the Democratic Alliance Congresses. You've got the Eastern Cape, you've got Gauteng, you've got the Western Cape seemingly moving together as a block on this particular issue. They've got to sort out some differences here and there with provinces such as KwaZulu-Natal, who may feel hard done with what has happened to John Steenhuisen. But the Western Cape is once again cementing its authority over the party, saying that we bring in the most votes, we are the showcase of clean governance, so we will definitely push through. You've had individuals such as Chris Papas in Umgeni and KwaZulu-Natal's name being branded about, but at this point in time, he's also been relatively quiet. You don't know if he'll be contesting for something or not. But John Steenhuisen's allies, like Dean McPherson, were also there when Gordon Hill Lewis launched his campaign. Siviwe Gorube was there, Silius Brink was there. So you can see that it was a merger of both factions of Helen Zille and John Steenhuisen, which gives some sort of comfortability to John Steenhuisen to still be able to engage with Gordon Hill Lewis. It was the worst kept secret within the Democratic Alliance and political circles that Gordon Hill Lewis was going to contest.
It really was. Even at the point when they were denying it, you could tell that he was going to run.
He was going to run because there was already friction between himself and John Steenhuisen. If you look at the politics of the DA, John Steenhuisen has always felt that he's not been properly welcomed by the Western Cape Democratic Alliance, which effectively controls the politics of the DA. An individual such as J.P. Smith is one not to undermine because he yields the power within the DA and in particular within the Cape Metro and within the imaginations of the Democratic Alliance from a regional, provincial and at a national level. And he has seemingly also thrown his weight behind Gordon Hill Lewis in order to preempt that there may be a vacancy.
Right.
And the individual who's elected may ascend to a national level.
Yeah, we don't have time to touch on Solim Semanga and the federal chairperson run, but we'll do that at another time. Let's wrap it up with what's been going on in the city of Ekurhuleni. There's all of what you talked about at the municipal council level. Let's call it chaos, shall we? It's chaos. No speaker, MMC is resigned, finance MMC resigned, budget not adopted, chaos. The coalition partners are also not so sure about what's going on, or shall we call them governance agreement partners, because they don't want to be called coalition partners, the EFF. All of that is happening while a lot is happening in the ANC in that region itself.
Ekurhuleni is become a showcase of example of mismanagement, allegations of corruption, allegations of malfeasance. They are the poster boy and poster girl of all of the bad things when it comes to governance. And sadly, that all culminated from a coalition government post the Mzwandile Masina era, not to say that he's innocent or he's guilty, but most of the revelations that you are seeing coming out are from that era when there was a coalition government in the city of Ekurhuleni, where it was the DA first, then it was Ngondwana, who ultimately came in after Tanya Campbell, and subsequently now Dr. Kagaza. But all in all, it is chaos because the ANC internally is in turmoil. When you look at the relations of the chairperson and the regional secretary, Jongzizwe and Dr. Kagaza, they are seemingly not getting along. Then you ultimately go to the governance within the municipality. A number of senior managers, executives have subsequently been suspended by the city manager, Kagiso Larutla, at this point in time. So it is a myriad of issues, and which may ultimately culminate, but it will be tricky to elect one, a speaker. It will be tricky for a budget to be tabled because you don't know what Action SA will do. Because the ANC may put provincially an ultimatum to Action SA to say, since you are not voting with us in all of these other municipalities, we are going to withdraw from Ekurhuleni. And I doubt him in Mashaba, going towards an election year, would want to lose Ekurhuleni and want to lose Tshwane. As much as he said he won't go into bed with the ANC in Ekurhuleni, but the ANC is a unitary organization. It's not a federal organization. It takes decisions from top down.
Yeah.
And if there's an instruction from top down to say, no, if these other parties are not voting for us in Citybeng, in Mfuleni, in Mohale City, in Johannesburg, in Ekurhuleni, why are you still in a coalition government in Tshwane?
Yeah.
That is going to be the interesting play that Panyaza Lusufi
Right.
and Hope Papo, the coordinator, will have to ultimately work on. Right. But is the Secretary General of the ANC and the officials, all of them, happy with the working arrangement of the EFF? I would doubt some are happy, noting what Dr. Kagaza has said. He let the cat out of the bag. You've got no wards in Ekurhuleni, but you've got 5 MMCs. Yet you as the ANC have about 89 wards, but you are dictated to by a party that has no wards.
Right. Samkele, let's leave it there. Lots to unpack. It's going to be a long year leading to the local government elections.
It's definitely going to be a long year leading to the local government elections, but sadly, all that will be discussed is individuals' names and not the deplorable plight and state that South Africans are facing. And that is the saddest part about South African politics. We discuss people's names and not the plight of Sibongile, of Sihle, of Kosindipile and other individuals struggling. Samkele
Maseko from our politics desk, opening up the diary to let you know what are the stories that they'll be tracking this coming week.